Aloha, worlds, and welcome to another episode of The Queer and the Queen. I'm Jacobi, act like you know me, Jones, and today I have back in the house with me.
Hey, everybody, Omar Phoenix here. Omi, if you want to know me, and I put the hoe in home wrecker.
There you have it. What's up, girl?
I miss you. How are you?
I'm good. I miss you too. How are you?
You know what? I have to buy a new bed because I kind of broke the one that I have right now. I bet you can guess how.
So today we're going to get into a special hot topic, we're going to call it, because Sherri Shepherd is officially taking over the Wendy Williams slot. And she wants her first guest to be Miss Wendy Williams.
The shade.
I know.
Well, I guess we don't have to ask Wendy Williams how she doing because we already know.
You know, it's so funny because the thing that I was thinking is that the tables have turned. Like the fact that now granted, what I will say is that even we agreed about this earlier, Sherri and Wendy seem to be friends.
They seem to be friends, but they're diametrically opposed in so many different ways. And so it's really, really interesting to see how Sherri is like almost like a kind of moment.
You think so? Like backstabbing?
No, not a backstabbing. More like, look at this now.
Yeah, I think two things. I think it's like trying to give her opportunity to, tell her story first before, the show starts and or it's just like a bitch move, like you said.
What I will say about Sherri Shepherd is that a lot of her political viewpoints can be somewhat controversial when it comes to our community as LGBTQIA plus people, but she's kind of pivoted a lot recently, and she's like said, I've kind of changed my viewpoints about how I feel about gay and queer people and trans people. So it's really interesting because I think that it would be interesting to have a Black woman who doesn't roll on the bandwagon with everybody else's opinion.
Right. When you mention it, she has said such controversial stuff on The View about, transgender this, kids this, being gay when young, like expressing themselves as children, and how she feels about it because of her religious beliefs. And that is quite an interesting, concerning thing to bring up because it does make you wonder, especially being with, someone who gets to, we get to choose who we support, just like the Black dollar gets to choose who they support, or any marginalized group of people get to choose. I don't know. I still love her though. Like,
I honestly, I really like her. And it kind of goes to show that it's not always about identity politics. Sometimes it's about people in certain communities have different opinions than other people in that community. And that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It is because, we don't have to agree. We just have to respect each other. You know what I mean? And I'm a big believer that it doesn't matter what you believe as long as what you believe doesn't encourage you to harm yourself or someone else. So the fear and blah, 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 all that. But I find this whole Wendy Williams, Sherri Shepherd situation quite ironic to be, just like where Wendy came from. Like, you asked me this earlier. I'm going to ask you this. Do you think Wendy is a mean person?
I don't think she's a mean person. I do think that the phrase comes to mind, hurt people, hurt people. And so to see Wendy Williams, she's just stayed at 150 the entire time and
wait, what?
Pissing
she
people off. She's stayed at 150, not just 100. She stayed at 150, pissing everybody off and not caring. And now a moment's happening where that little golden egg of hers has been passed on to another goose, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I also, I was speaking to a relative of mine, shout out to my cousin, Chrissy Cream. She was just like, she been, messing with people for a long time. And what's the word that you said? She's not mean,
not a bad person.
She's just,
but she's just not nice.
Right. Yeah. That's basically what my cousin said. I do agree. It's such an interesting space for me when I think about stuff like this. Just like in a previous show, we talked about Joe Rogan. Like, I guess it's because I like to say whatever the fuck I want to say.
Same.
You know what I mean? And I know how they feel, like, in the sense that I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want to say. But I also think before I speak, though, when it comes to like, is this how far can this touch before someone is just like, that hurts my feelings to hear something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're a Gemini though, right?
Bitch, yes, I'm a Gemini. What that got to do with it?
Well, because you think before you speak. You've got that little kind of like, you got the little good guy over here, and then you got the little red devil.
Oh my God, yes.
And you know that I pretty much stay on red devil. So it's like, I've got to watch my mouth.
I definitely feel like it's good. Her show has run its course. Wendy Williams show, that'd be done. I love Wendy Williams. I enjoyed watching her from time to time. I wasn't an everyday Wendy girl. But Sherri Shepherd, as long as Sherri's show is geared towards half comedy, half politics, oh my God. Like,
yeah,
I would love it. But if Sherri just tries to stick directly to just comedy or kind of like a hot topic-y kind of show, such as what Wendy did, or like a daytime fun like Ellen DeGeneres kind of, I'm not there for that. I'm not there for that when it comes to Sherri. I am there for Sherri having a Wendy Williams-esque show, but half politics, because Wendy didn't do politics at all. Wendy was like, this is a no politics show. But
Sherri, well, it's kind of like the difference between watching Kelly Clarkson and Ellen DeGeneres. And I just feel like whenever I'm watching Kelly Clarkson, I'm watching somebody who is a genuine, nice girl.
Good way to put that. Like when I see Kelly, I see like, yes, this is your lane. And when I saw Ellen, it was like, ooh, but I personally think that Sherri's show is about to be lit though. Like, cause she know everybody. Like I think her show is just gonna be, as long as she has politics in it and she talks to her celebrity friends, her show gonna be off the chain, because Sherri is a fool. Like I think it's gonna be amazing. Like I'm here.
She knows how to.
You know what? I am going to be on the Sherri Shepherd show. Let's put that into the universe.
I remember watching her on Beauty Shop, and I already knew who she was when I saw her on Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah, and I loved her then. And she's not the kind of woman who is like, I'm well-read and I'm intelligent and I'm politically researched. She knows how to have a kiki with the girls, and she knows how to have fun. And she also knows how to have civil discourse without reading the dog shit out of somebody, pardon my French.
Yeah, she can have a conversation with, get her point across, or even her unwarranted opinion across without hurting someone's feelings.
Right. She doesn't denigrate other people, whereas Wendy...
She checked Sonny. Did you see her on The View when Sonny said something about Joe Rogan and saying, he was stupid or dumb, or his viewers was, or something like that. And Sherri was just like, wait a minute, I might not agree either, but you're not gonna get nowhere calling people stupid and dumb. Right. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, let's have a discourse. You know what I mean? I know, it's just like, yes.
Because you further alienate people who might not.
Yeah, keep going.
Well, you further alienate people and I've had to learn this lesson. You further alienate them if they don't agree with you, or vice versa. And so you're like, you're stupid and you're dumb and you don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's like, that's not the way to kind of bridge the gap.
Yeah, not at all. It's really more about having the discourse to get them to understand that, please respect me, even though you don't agree with me.
Well, that's what I like about Sherri though, because she is openly conservative, but she knows how to approach everything with love and with humor, and she knows how not to just push people away. And she also knows how to research and read something and change her mind. And we are allowed to change our minds. We are allowed to change our points of view.
Her loyalty lies in what's right. You know what I mean?
That's what I love about her.
Yeah. So, are you going to watch Sherri Shepherd show?
Yes. And I actually did not watch Wendy. I think somebody like Sherri Shepherd, I don't want to say she's going to be Miss Nice and Kind all the time, but
she's real.
She's real. And there's a way to read your friends.
Wendy made shit up though. Like Wendy, she would always use the phrase allegedly, and in my mind, this is how it happened. That's making shit up. Yeah, that's making like Sherri Shepherd ain't finna be doing a show in La La Land and shit.
Wendy Williams is not a comedian. She's not a stand-up comedian. Like, she doesn't go and do stand-up. Sherri does. And there is something that I have to say about that, because it is controversial, because you've seen things like Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart and their opinions. But it's like, at what point do we just let comedy be comedy again? And if we buy a ticket to go see a comedian, but we're going in the mindset that they're going to say something offensive, so we're going on guard, do we go? Or do we just choose, you know what, I'm going to skip on this?
Use your dollar as your power. Absolutely. That's the real question that people need to ask themselves. But what she did was intentional. Like, people went to her show for that. You know what I mean? Like, they went
they went to go get gassed
to
up.
go watch the mess. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that is what the issue with society lies, is where we need to get the world to a place where they stop finding these kind of things entertaining and become, you know, like really just a place of peace. And, you know, one thing, let me finish the show off with this. Peace looks like boredom to someone who was raised in toxicity and chaos.
Yes.
When I heard that shit, I was just like, how can I spread this message? You know what I mean? Like, because it's so true. Like, people have to change their frequencies in order to understand that we shouldn't be, like, you know, getting kicks out of this anyway. But what do you think before we go?
Well, I think that there's so much merit to that. I'm working on a record right now, and my producer and I were just talking about this in the studio. I'm not mad because I'm not hurt, and I'm not hurt because I'm not surprised.
Yeah, amen to that. Amen to that. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Omar. This is what we think of Wendy Williams, Sherri Shepherd, and so much more. It's always so much fun talking to you. He'll be back.
I could literally talk to you for like
we got some other things to talk about, girl. You'll be back. You'll be seeing more Omar. Make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms. I'm going to link myself and Omar's Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. I don't think you got TikTok, Omar. You need to get with the program. And his website, so you can find his music. And love yourself. And as we always say, don't forget to smile.